One of the first clients that I sold life insurance to was $1 million policy, and the guy actually passed away 4 days later.
Oh,
AI is great. You could actually have the AI do the follow-ups for you.
nothing's better than the meeting note taker, right? Like that's the greatest one.
See, I'd say, hey, look, if you get a 5-star review, I'll give you $25 for every one of them. You know, my theory in sales with my teams has always been ABN. Always been, you get people uploading anything. They'll upload doctor reports, blood test results, pictures of their, everything to qualify for them. And it's the AI doing it. You could actually send the client to us. We'll do the whole process, and then I'd say the wildest thing that ever happened in my career was one of the first clients that I sold life insurance to. It was $1 million policy, and the guy actually passed away 4 days later.
Oh,
Now, the interesting thing is that he had a heart attack, and he fell down the stairs, and he died primarily from falling down the stairs. So it was basically the accident that killed him. So he got paid double because it was an accident. Also, they couldn't really go back and look at the pre-existing condition if he had one. I didn't really want them to look too far into it. But because it was the accident, it was all right. And he was paid out, and his family was super happy, and I was happy. The insurance company wasn't happy, but it just goes to show that when you're looking to buy life insurance, make sure you buy it because it can happen at any time.
wow.
My name is Brian Greenberg. I'm with Quoteli. We're in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm an insurance dude.
Boom! Welcome, Brian. I can't believe that. 4 days.
Yeah.
Was that like a record?
It was my record, yeah. Unfortunately, we see people that, are interested in insurance that don't buy it, and then they pass away, right? And then their family members saying, hey, did they buy insurance?
No.
That sucks, and that feels like I didn't do my job, and that one hurts. And it's happened so many times.
And that was one of your first policies that you sold?
Yeah, it was.
So that became the story for at that point and beyond?
Yeah, I would say that. It was a telephone sales. So at that point, I started selling online, and it was a guy in a different state. So that was one of the first, telesales calls that I had.
That's wild. They fell down the stairs.
So what got you into this crazy world of insurance? What started that?
I started with MetLife, maybe 15, 20 years ago. And it was good. They taught us that insurance is always sold and never bought. And, look, they have a very good point. Yes, life insurance is a very different animal, right? So I was going around trying to sell insurance, door to door, making appointments face to face. And it was hard. People were very hesitant. But what I found is I had this one client where he was on the fence, but his brother-in-law passed away. And the next thing you know, he's on the phone with me begging me to sell him insurance right away. And I love that. All right. So I came to the conclusion that I want to find those people. Because I didn't have to sell them. They just went and bought it. So I was good at marketing and the internet, and the opportunity was there. So I started an online agency, True Blue Life Insurance.
20 years ago?
20 years ago, yeah. So I was one of the first guys, man, yeah. And back then, I was on the first page of Google ranking.
Oh, yeah.
On all these clients licensed in all 50 states. And I built a business. We did well over $1 million in premium every year for over 10 years. The greatest leads because people were already sold. All I had to do was not screw it up. Right? And no chasing.
Pass the whiz quiz.
Wow.
And that set me off, on selling digitally. And eventually I sold the website, and now I'm providing software that I built over those years to agents and agencies.
Super cool. So you sold that and then just straight pivoted into this?
I took some time off. I had this website that I had for so long. So it had all these links and it ranked real well. And one of those companies that, kind of sell leads wanted the website real bad. So I sold it, and it was a nice little exit. Took some time off. And look, they left me with all the software that I built, and I spent millions of dollars on this software. All the quoting comparison, all the funnels, the follow-ups, everything, right? It was just a beautiful system. So I wanted to give back, right? And I like it. So providing this software, it's life insurance quoting comparison software and tools to make it very easy to sell life insurance.
What was it like before that? Like, I mean, but before you had the software, which I figure you built the software because there was a big problem and you needed to solve that. So talk a little bit about what it was like, and then go into how you managed to solve that.
Sure. Look, met life even face to face. Even when I first started, selling, let's say, you're buying leads that aren't so good. It's a sales process, and you got to ask some really tough questions when you're selling life insurance to kind of build up that need. You're bringing up people's mortality, and it's hard to do, and people don't want to think about it. So it ends up being a very tough sale, and we're taught to do it right there, right on the phone or right face to face. Let's get it done, get them to, sign up, take the exam. And it was just, it's hard. And for those people that aren't really good at doing a hard sell, it makes it very problematic. And it kind of wards people off of selling life insurance, unfortunately. But the better way to do it is to keep in front of them. And when they are ready, be there. When, to offer your help, essentially, not to necessarily sell them. And then, there's certain things. They get married, they have a kid, and the best one is not the best one. I'm sorry, but they know somebody that passed away, whether they had insurance or not. And if they didn't, you see GoFundMes. If they did, the family's super happy, and the topic comes up, and that's the easiest sale.
100%. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy. So, like I told you, Craig and I both have a part of a captive agency. And so every year they have life goals, or maybe they'll skip a year with those goals. But like when those goals come up, we got to get the team to start having those life conversations. It's not easy for them. It's super difficult. So it makes so much more sense to go where the people don't need the conversation as much.
Yeah, plant the seed.
Yeah.
Is the main thing. I know you guys are selling products that legally are required. You guys are lucky. The life insurance they don't need to. It's like going to the dentist, and they definitely don't want to think about it. And the process is silly long and intrusive. So if you guys would just go in there and just plant the seed. Hey, what happens if you pass away? We have life insurance products. Don't push it too hard. I'm not sure what they teach you guys, but my theory is don't teach it. Don't push it too hard. Maybe send them to a web page that has information that answers the FAQs. So you don't have to do it, right? That's what I think. That's what I would recommend to make things easy, and also to provide a great service for your customers.
Yeah. What are you seeing that's working on the life side? Like what are some tactics and tips for agents to have those uncomfortable conversations?
We run a system where, look, they're coming to us and we're running ads. All right. Now, so we know they have some sort of interest at one time or the other, that they just wanted to see prices. And I think that's the easiest way to get into it, is just asking if they would like a quote. Who wouldn't want a quote? That works. That's always worked. And that's what I would recommend. Maybe it's very unintrusive. You give them the price for a 10, 20, 30 year, maybe universal life. And then you could always go into the cash value ones if it fits. Just get them a quote. Get them thinking about it. Send it to them so they have it in front of them. Send it to them 6 months later. Show them that the next year that it's going up a little bit. But that's the best way. Give them a quote. That's my company, Quoteli. So that's what I'm basing my whole business on.
That's awesome. So like with your software, they can go in, they can have a web page. The client goes in, checks out the different quotes from, or puts in their information, gets quotes from multiple carriers, and then that information gets ported into their CRM, and then they can do the follow-ups and everything.
Exactly. One of the best things that works is setting up some sort of sequence automatically to send them an email over the next 3 months after you send them the quote, and then drip them, just for years, really. Birthday emails, just mention it. If you're already contacting it, just put it in the signature that you offer this. Text messages are amazing right now. They always go through, they're transcribed, voicemail drops. But if you have some sort of automated sequence to contact people, to get them to either schedule an appointment, to run another quote, to ask for another quote, that's the system.
What kind of emails would you advise? Because that seems daunting, right? like to write those emails. Well, now with AI, it can be a lot less difficult. But like, what are the subjects and hooks that you're using in these emails to get people's attention?
We have several call to actions, so I'll send them back to look at the quote. In my scenario, I'll ask them to answer some medical questions. So I have a health questionnaire that I provide, and they'll go through that. And then it's great because we then know kind of what they'll qualify for. We can give them an even more accurate price. And then, hey, just we'll tell them a little bit about life insurance, different times you need it, and just being kind of almost like a nice guy saying, hey, I'm here to help you when you need. It's an important thing. And different messages over the year, right? So just hit them with a whole bunch of things. But it doesn't have to be a huge thing, just especially in the text messages, hey, I'm here. Ready for the quote. Are you ready? Can I get you a quote?
It's just a function of continued. I mean, this is something that obviously PNC agents are no stranger to, which is follow up, right? Like we run our agencies where we buy hundreds of leads every day for auto typically because it's the easiest foot in the door. However, in those years, especially when we need to have life insurance, I think having this similar kind of follow up would be really solid. Do you have like numbers? Like what's the typical time span to drip on somebody, or any of those types of things, like the funnel? How does that look?
It's what we find with life insurance is that you could drip these guys for 6-8 months, and then all of a sudden they'll contact they're ready. Because look, they're getting contacted not just by you,
right?
Other people. So, the most successful people are sending a lot of texts, and they're, hey, I'll follow up next month. Are you still interested? Can I follow up with you in 3 months, see where you're at?
Right.
Just the plain persistence on life insurance is the most important thing because it's like such a strange product that certain things will spark them to actually do it.
Right. I see that like it is a total timing issue, right? It's all about timing. So if you're the one that they remember at the moment that they, cause Uncle Vinny dies or whatever, then all of a sudden you're getting that call or you're getting the reply. So just a big numbers game.
Exactly. And look, when someone buys life insurance, 95% are going to go online and they're going to run a quote. It's just how it is. And I'm sure it's getting very similar to that in the P&C game. They're running comparisons. So if you don't offer those quotes, or you're not offering that to them, they're going to go to a competitor. Mm-hmm. And I know that because I was that competitor. They'd search it online. They find me on Google. They'd run my quotes and then they would be our customer. So just let them know you sell it, and then just keep offering them a quote. And my company's name is Quoteli, and We just know that works so well with life insurance.
It's funny. Craig and I were actually talking with with somebody else earlier today about, it's just funny, like across the board in every industry when it comes to sales, that the tenacity of just continuing to do the follow-up will always trump any kind of talent when it comes to sales. I mean, somebody can sweet talk all they want. And usually the people that do sweet talk, they don't want to follow up that much. Right. But you don't have to have that much skill, but if you're tenacious and you keep following up, like, you are going to definitely have the highest sales. We've seen it in other industries as well.
I mean,
it's like,
we just listened to the call that was like, I can't believe that she turned that into a transfer with what she said, but it's because of how she does it. Like, it's her tone. It's like, you can tell she's not getting off the phone until you say yes. Right. I mean, just remarkable, because some of the stuff is like, what?
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Persistence, build that pipeline. And after a while, even if they're a year old, you'll start getting people calling you. And next thing you know, you're selling a couple policies a day.
so crazy. Yeah.
Like, where do you see this world going now that we're building 100,000 GPU powered supercomputers with quantum BS in it, and we're building our destruction right now. What are where do you see this industry going?
It's interesting.
If we're alive.
Yeah, look, people find you in different scenarios, whether, it could be an AI, what do you call it, the top of the search engines. They'll mention. People find my business all the time from the AI summaries. Also social media. So, doing videos, especially if you can get yourself out there and build trust, that's a great way to close sales. That way, by the time they're talking to you, they know you. You're kind of like almost like a little celebrity to them because they've seen you do these videos. Now, life insurance, though, people have been trying to do agentless for years. And I don't know if you guys know this, but there's been Ladder, Bestow, Ethos is hanging around there, Haven Life, all direct-to-consumer life insurance products that they thought would run everybody out of business and agents would be gone. And it turns out they all went out of business because at some point during the buying process, they're going to want to talk to somebody.
Right.
You still need that person. People just don't feel comfortable not talking to an agent to assure them that that's what they're doing. And the agent has a lot of knowledge as far as what companies to put them in, what product to put them in. So even with all this new stuff here, you still need the physical agent. Maybe not face-to-face, over the phone, digitally in Zoom, but you still need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny how in industries you see this all the time. Like a new something comes out, and instead of using the old model and introducing the new thing and slowly transitioning into the new thing, they just, here's the new thing, and we're not even going to touch the old thing, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, you got to do a mix. Look, we did find people would buy life insurance without agent interaction.
Yeah.
It was like 5%.
Yeah.
And these companies were going after 5%, and they were losing 95% of them, and they didn't know what to do with those guys that wouldn't finish. Yeah, it's interesting. The old-fashioned way of just being a person, shooting people straight, being an honest person that they would want to do business with.
So, yeah. So, like, if it's 5%, they should just sell the leads to other.
They do. And a lot of, at least they tried. Believe me, these guys were slow to do that. A lot of the companies that did survive a little bit, they started contracting agents under them. So when people got denied or didn't go through this one product that they were offering, they'd contract independent agents to go and try to sell them again. And those are the only ones that survived that actually integrated real agents.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like, people just need to talk to people. It's we've had this conversation quite a few times. We have a company that teaches other agents how to use dialers, to like dialing specialists to transfer over leads over to their agents, to cut out the middleman. So we've had this conversation a lot about using AI in the mix of this, and Craig and I have both used AI, but like, there's so much lost in that, in the amount of, even though you're using humans to have these conversations, it still is a way higher ROI than just excluding humans and just using, technology, I guess. People want that human connection.
Agreed. Look, AI is great, although I'm not sure how you guys, I'm curious to know how you guys got the most out of it. But the follow-ups, you could actually have the AI do the follow-ups for you and schedule things. Say, I'll have, Brian call you back, or schedule an appointment. That's the best thing that we've gotten out of AI, especially if somebody shows interest. Boom, the AI could be there in 5 seconds. Where if it goes to a human, if 10 minutes go by, that's trouble, especially in the life insurance business, because they're going to go somewhere else. They're going to look. They're just going to get in a different mood or mindset. So that's where it comes in. Just immediately, hey, let's schedule something.
100%.
Is that how you guys utilize it?
Currently, right now, we're not utilizing it, but because you know what it is? It's the friction part of it. It depends how much friction there is. If the desire to book the appointment is there, it's not hard. But if you need to like kind of overcome objections, then that's where it gets difficult. It doesn't matter how much you prompt the AI to like, listen, don't take that answer, go to the next thing. It's still, having a human doing it is just yields better results. I don't know why that is.
No,
I mean, we're getting close.
Of course.
I think the outcome also is important, right? Like, our outcome with the way that we're doing is to get the transfer versus get the appointment. And I think getting the appointment makes more sense to use AI, because at scale, I mean, you could get a lot more done than you can. But with transferring, it's a little difficult because there's a lot of moving parts. Where we've I think our sweet spot with AI right now has just been utilizing to help with marketing, like help with concepts, help with ideas, help with analyzing data. Like, we do use it for a lot of data analysis, and like Jason came up with a pretty cool little thing that he did, where we just look at our leads, like our lead intake, the different sources of the leads, and we find patterns that we hadn't seen. It was like, oh, dang, I thought that this one was doing better, right? And so, a lot like our team, will think the leads suck today, right? Well, the leads suck today because you think the leads suck today, not because they're any different. And so we'll hopefully none of them are listening right now, but we'll say like, yeah, we just switched them out and we got the other ones, that should be much better today. And all of a sudden, poof, they work better, right? Because that's all up here. And I don't know, got kind of lost there.
The AI to do call summaries where they that's great.
Yeah.
It's cool that most of the technology now does have that kind of ability into it, especially having, oh man, nothing's better than the meeting note taker, right? Like that's the greatest one. It's my favorite. Well, cool. Like, talk to us a little bit about, I know so your system will build landing pages and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about like, when it comes to getting someone to get a quote online, what kind of design elements are we looking at on that landing page?
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to have a beautiful website. it's got to be professional. I see too many people, they're building just these, very cheap forms, if you will. They're built right into the CMS, maybe even in their CRM system, but it looks unprofessional and it's not going to build up trust. All right. So it has, spend the money on the design, and the design isn't very much money anymore. You go on to Upwork or Fiverr and have someone just customize this form for you, really. Put some images of yourself, I found always helps, pictures of you, your family, make it personable, and then reviews. I got to nail home reviews. Before they do business with you, they're going to look you up. And if you have a nice reservoir of Google reviews, that's going to be the slam dunk. So you got to ask for those. That's the main thing. We can do automations to ask for them as well, and that works okay. But as an agent, you got to say, hey, if you're happy, please don't forget to leave me a review, please, because they're worth so much.
Yeah, and I think that we do forget to use those. When our agency was selling the most, at one point, we had a bunch of people a bunch of our agents saying like, people aren't trusting us to sell over the phone right away. I said, what they started doing was taking the Google reviews and sending them that link.
Yeah.
And that really did it. So then we started embedding that on the quotes and sending them on the follow-ups, and it really helped.
Isn't it remarkable that nobody trusts or believes anything anybody says, but for some reason, reviews, like they trust all these strangers and their opinions about whatever the thing is.
Absolutely.
Like, it's remarkable. All of us do it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't care what Karen in Omaha thinks. Like, it's so strange that, I don't know. It's just an interesting thing.
Hey, look,
but it works.
At my agency, I'd say, hey, look, if you get a 5-star review, I'll give you $25 for every one of them. And hey, get one on Google. Fine, go back and get one on the BBB or Yelp, and I'll pay you $25 for each one of those. They stick there. They're from a third party. They're legitimate. I think they're worth at least $100 a piece, and then probably more, right? And then they stay there for the next year. So they're just incredibly valuable. And the opposite of that is if you get a bad review, that could kill you, especially if you respond wrong to one of those things.
Yeah.
You've got a business, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars. So, my theory in sales with my teams has always been ABN, always be nice. No matter what, the customer could be in a bad mood. For us, the default, always be nice. And in the back of our mind, we're going after that 5-star review.
Perfect. What are you guys doing for the tire kickers?
Sending them quotes. That's the system, I really don't. If you're selling over the phone, people want the prices, but you could put it through a process. Ask them all the questions, and it's tire kickers. Send them a quote, right? Send them a PDF. For our system, we actually send them a link to a URL that has the quote live, so they could actually play around with it. They can change the amount, change the coverage, and then they could actually just hit a button and start filling out pretty much the full application right there. We'll still have to talk to them, but we'll get them 90% of the way. So that by the time we get them on the phone, like I said, they're teed up.
That's awesome. And I know this is a crazy question, but do you have to have the appointment with the company, the carrier, to get the quote?
No, absolutely not.
Awesome. So like if Joe Schmo agent only had 2 carriers currently, but he wanted to have 5 on the site to be able to compare.
Yeah.
You can do that.
If you do end up getting someone interested, you can contract with them, right when you put in the policy request. But
that's super cool.
For P&C agents, there's so many people. Look, our company does fulfillment. So you could actually send the client to us. We'll sell them. We'll do the whole process, and then we'll pay you the commission.
Awesome. What kind of commission are we looking at?
Look, term life insurance, pays about 100% of annual premium.
Oh, wow. Cool.
With you guys closing it?
Yeah.
Now I think you got people interested. You should talk more about that.
No, I agree. Look, because you can put one of these call to actions, whether it's a button or a widget. And the widget, again, is the quote. Enter, the coverage amount you're looking at, your gender, your date of birth. Boom, they're in the system. When they go through it, we have their information. And if we don't call everybody, but if someone does request an application and you don't really want to deal with it, and it could just be someone doing it completely online, we send it to a call center. And the call center's great at it, and they'll get the most out of them, and they'll treat them great. ABN, always be nice. Your clients, all right, so we won't go back and sell them anything. They're in your database, but we can pay you a commission. Especially if you're licensed for life insurance, then it's super easy. You don't even have to be licensed in the state for us to pay you that commission. And it's like an affiliate commission, if you will, referral commission, but we give you the full thing.
So if an agent is running commercial, it's stupid to not have, or something else, it's stupid to not at least use this as another way to help your clients and possibly extra income without even
nice order bump
doing anything.
You guys got to, partner with someone in life insurance is always good. Let's say you're dealing with a real wealthy customer and these guys, need some estate planning or they're looking for something big. We have people that will do the whole case and split it 70-30, which means you get 70 and they take 30. And they'll do all day because these are huge cases. These cases are, 30,000 in commission, 100,000 in commission, because people are basically anything they overfund for leftover, I guess, if you will, from 401k, and they don't know where to put it. Life insurance has, some of these tax advantages for people that have extra money. And the more they overfund it, the better. And it's a involved sales process, but it's one that's a slam dunk if you got the right person in front of you. And I'm sorry, if they qualify.
Yeah. Do you have any just straight marketers that are because it sounds like a great way to let's say you didn't want to sell life insurance, but you are great at marketing and you use the software to do that, and then you guys close them.
That's a slippery slope.
Okay.
Those, you're dealing with affiliate marketers, and historically you get people come in and they might talk a huge game, although it ends up very rarely panning out like that. The real good people that take advantage of it are P&C agents, registered investment advisors. These make good relationships. It's not, it's a supplement to your income, if you will. Every once in a while you'll get a really nice big pop. Although, you're going to keep them in-house, if you will, right? You don't want to send them to another life insurance agent because I'm sure they have their network.
Right. Yeah. Good point. Cool. And I want to know, as far as automation goes, what are the smart agents doing to survive?
I would say texting is, I know some people are down on it, although that's the thing that seems to work the best. And the most successful people are continuing with it. And like I said, 6 months, 8 months, even the next year, because those go through. Emails get lost. Voicemail drops are problematic, and they're getting more difficult now with new laws. So you got to have a good texting system would be my advice.
100%.
So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
When you asked about the AI, I was thinking to myself, Craig and I both experimented multiple times with outbound. Anyways, he did some voice stuff and I did some texting stuff, and man, the texting stuff was so exciting. It was just constant conversations, nonstop happening. And I think that psychologically people are more accepting to the possibility of texting to an AI rather than talking to them on the phone. I feel like the phone call conversation feels like you're someone's pulling one over on you, but the texting one, it's like, they don't care as long as they get the information. I don't know.
I agree. Yeah, the voice doesn't work very well. I don't know if it's just not there or it's frustrating that you're not talking to a human. Stump them. But yeah, the text is amazing. I mean, you get people uploading anything. They'll upload doctor reports, blood test results, pictures of their prescriptions, everything to qualify for them. And it's the AI doing it. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just they know it's going to go to a person and they appreciate, getting things done right then and there. But yeah.
Or it even sounds better than a regular person.
Yeah.
Sometimes some of the texting, I mean, it's something.
And the AI is so smooth about it sometimes.
So
smooth.
If AI hallucinates, which was a problem that we run into. So you got to be careful with how much you allow it to do.
Yeah.
But if they ask a question that, you can just have the AI say, look, I don't know. That's why I want to schedule you with, the licensed advisor.
So much stuff. Before we let you run, just real quick, tell me, because you have a best-selling book, The Salesman Who Doesn't Sell. I'm sure it's available on Amazon and all that. What's the biggest takeaway for somebody that picks up that book? And what piece of advice would you give to somebody new jumping into this world? It's a two-part question.
You're marketing yourself, kind of building a personal brand, because when people are going to look you up online. So if you spend the time, put some money in it and treat that very seriously with reviews, with a professional looking website, get some headshots done is huge. Please do that. It's much easier now, headshots too, because you could just there's AI places now. You just take some pictures of yourself, boom. And my goodness, the images are amazing. Professional, you within suit, you're wearing suits and everything, but huge. Please do that. Build the brand. Like you said, make the reviews very prominent. Link to your Facebook, even your family's Facebook. Yeah, be personable.
Love it. Awesome,
man.
Give us all the deets. How can people get a hold of you and your company and all the info?
Our website is Quoteplicity. It's a play on quotes and simplicity. So Quoteplicity, and we have solutions for people that are able to sell independent life insurance agents. Also, we have solutions for people that are in P&C, and we can have partnerships even if you are a captive agent. But we have a lot of different resources. For us, we just sell the software, so we're agnostic on anything else, and we're just there to try to help you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Brian. This is awesome. It's been great.
Thanks for having me.